All right, cool. So I just started recording. So yeah, welcome everyone to our last live trading session of the week. So it's October 1st, and we're pretty much going to get right into it. So last live session of the week, Nick's going to get started with DXY. And I'll give you permission to share here. Boom.
All right, guys. On to excuse me, DXY. All right, so let's just go to the daily time frame to start. We know that this is bearish, but I want to just go over quickly how this transition happened, right? So we were very bullish for a while, right? Very, very good, steady trend on this daily time frame. Higher highs, higher lows. This is Corona that happened, and then we got pretty much this was a shift. Post Corona, we got tons of consolidation. Then we started getting these bearish legs as some of the effects that took place or some of the status of the economy was getting priced in, and naturally after Corona, everything was pretty bad. We were in a slump for a while, so it was reflected in DXY, depreciating and going to its value at that time, which is way, way below this monthly zone. And once we broke this monthly zone, we definitely went to a bearish trend, right? So we're looking at short opportunities. That's the bias here, right? So we're definitely bearish until we see a break of this 95 zone, until we see some higher lows above that zone. So let's go down with this bias in mind to the 4-hour and kind of see what scenarios we could spot. Okay, so this is that 95 handle. This is significant resistance right here. Right, this was that initial break of that zone. We got a little descending channel, broke out of the channel, got a bit of a flag, and then a rally up to this zone again, right? So right where our 50% fib level is. So this is good, and this is good because it needed to pull back the form structure still. We were kind of waiting on this for quite a while, actually. We wanted to see the 38.2 hit at least, and then rejection, but it went past that, as you could see. Went and touched the 50% close to this monthly zone. So from this area, it reversed. Gave us a nice little transition here, right? It broke this minor support, this higher low here, retested, and then started giving us some bearish engulfings. So right now, it really looks like it's going to continue with this bearish sentiment. It's looking like dollar weakness that we're going to potentially head lower. But let's go right to the 1-hour for a second. Okay, so look, we recently broke the zone. It's forming good structure. It's pushing lower to these new lows, pulling back, testing broken support, pushing to a new low, pulling back, testing broken support, and so on. So this is trending nicely. Guys, I want to say that this is going to push down towards this zone right here. Let me get a label for you guys. Pretty much 93.35. I think that's definitely where we could see price action go if we get some confirmations here. Right, if this engulfing holds and there's not much of a wick off this 200, definitely going to continue lower. Right, this was that retest that we wanted to see. Nice push to the 200, pulled back, tested, rejected the MAs, continuing back down. Okay, that shows a very, weak dollar that is trending bearishly, and that we definitely see new lows. All right, so with that in mind, we're looking for short opportunities, and we're going to trade accordingly on other major pairs with USD. But if this breaks back above this zone here, right above pretty much 94, if we start seeing some higher lows above 94, then we could reconsider, reanalyze, and potentially be long again. 1 second here. So that's DXY. Let's move on to our first pair, AU. All right, here we go, AU. Okay, so this thing has been pulling back significantly. Let me clear this up for a second, then we'll go from a little top-down analysis. All right, daily time frame to start. Okay, so this was very, very bearish until we saw a major push through this monthly zone. Yes, this was a very strong 4-hour bullish trend, but we didn't really see a daily transition, a daily bullish bias until we saw this monthly break and had significant closure above. right? So this thing is looking bullish right now. Let's go to the 4-hour and take a look. Wow, so this thing fell out of this ascending channel. It fell all the way down to this monthly zone where it rejected. I thought it was going to melt right through it, but the zone at 0.705, it pushed all the way to that, rejected, and now it's pulling back where we find ourselves at the 88.6, right? That's a pretty deep retracement. It's also rejecting, or it's also testing prior support, now resistance, broken zone right here where this higher low is. Okay, so yeah, this thing is, let's just go over two scenarios that could happen here. Either we see this thing push out, up and out, and continue with the overall bullish trend, or we get some rejection from the 88.6. So this is basically what we want to see right here. If it goes bullish, essentially just want to enter in a higher low, right in here. Okay. Well, you'd be looking for, bullish engulfings, bullish setups, somewhere in this area to enter long on. Okay. That's what needs to happen for us to consider long opportunities. But for right now, technically, it has potential to reverse. Like, this is just a deep pullback. Yes, this is a very strong, like, 1-hour bullish trend right here, this whole pullback, but this is still the prior lower high here, This thing is still bearish until pretty much up and out of this resistance, and then outside this lower high here and continuing. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the short-term opportunities. All right, so you can get a short opportunity here if you see a little bit of consolidation, right? You just want to see the break of a higher low. And then you can target lower, potentially all the way down towards 0%, and so on. Okay, so this just needs to consolidate. Look for either, a double top, some sort of reversal pattern that you could then enter on with confidence and then target lower. Okay, so these are the two scenarios for AU. I personally think that this momentum is just going to continue. I don't really see it stopping, especially because DXY looks so bearish as well. So if DXY keeps pushing lower, we'll see AU push up. Okay, and then maybe enough to get outside the pattern here. So we'll see. We'll see. That's AU. All right, next we got AJ. Looking very, very similar. Daily time frame to start. Overall, super bearish is a giant bearish channel here. And then we had this huge pullback post-corona. And then we got this pattern formation, which is pretty much where we were just at. We saw a recent break of it, but this was pretty much a giant ascending wedge, right? Which shows a weakening of a trend, especially within this giant ascending channel. So price action fell out. We got some lower highs and a lower time frame, and then we got a huge push to the downside. So let's get a closer look at that. Right to the 4-hour. Okay, yeah, very large ascending wedge rather, right here. Right, higher highs, higher lows. Reached our high, a nice little pocket of confluence, rejected, came down, ranged, broke out, retested this support, tested as resistance, and then melted. So that's where that bearish leg, this huge bearish leg, right after this break and retest. Good entry in there, actually. And then we shot down to the bottom trend line of this wedge. This is like I drew an extended trend line. So this is the wedge here, right? And then I drew an extended trend line as if it were a channel, just to see the max at which price action could pretty much fall, and then we could expect some sort of reaction. And price action respected that for the most part. It fell to it, a little past it, consolidated, double bottomed, and pulled back immediately to form something similar like we just saw in AU, where we're at a monthly zone. We're pretty much at the 88.6. It's at a deep fib level. So we're looking for something pretty similar, to be honest. Either rejection of the current zone, even if you get a little consolidation, something like this, still potentially a move. Maybe we could target lower if we get outside the this trend line here and outside of 75 flat. Look for a break of support to continue managing to a lower target. So that's one option. And then there's the bullish option, obviously. So wait for a break of resistance, enter on a higher low, target higher towards significant resistance like trend lines, prior highs, and so on. Okay, I personally think that this could again, if DXY keeps dropping, this moves pretty similar with AU. It seems to react bullishly as a dollar kind of falls off. Okay, excuse me 1 second. All right, so yeah, these are the two scenarios on AJ. Kind of just gotta wait. You're not gonna really force anything. Not much we can do at this moment besides wait for this to play out or wait for a break. All right, so that's AJ. Pretty crazy. So much movement. That's the worst part about after you get so much volume step into the market. What comes after is essentially just waiting. You can't enter on a high risk situation and expect to be confident with it. You just have to wait for the right setups to form, and then just follow the market accordingly. All right, so this is UJ, guys. Let's go to the daily time frame. This thing has been super bearish. I know we've been covering this quite a bit. We have a huge ascending triangle in this time frame, right? Super, super bearish. Oops, let's get rid of this box. All right. So lower highs, lower lows, key support at 106. Recently had a bit of ranging, and then we started printing lower highs rather, and then this pattern right at the monthly zone, this ascending triangle. So let's get a closer look at that. This is definitely bearish, guys. We're looking to short first and foremost. So let's zoom out a little bit. All right, so we're here in the 4 hour, nice ascending triangle right at the 106 level. Then we got a huge drop off after a final lower high, broke the pattern, but then pulled back into the pattern. So now, I mean, we really only have two opportunities. Both involve pretty much breaking this pattern. And as I'm sure you could have guessed, we're looking for a break to the upside or break to the downside, which pretty much just involves break and retest, higher low or lower high. Which we can then enter on. Oops. Something like that, right? So yeah, I mean, first, I'm looking for a short. I would really like to see a break to the downside, continue with the overall trend, enter on a retest, and then short the hell out of this, because this could be a really, really nice setup. And obviously has good movement. There's good volume here. So we could get at least to the prior low, 120 pips, something like that. But yeah, just follow price action here. Just wait on it. There is a ton of consolidation right here. So we really just got to be sure of the break. And we'll catch it either way. I mean, it doesn't really, we don't care if we're shorting or buying here, right? We just want to enter on a good position that fits our rules. I mean, the overall trend is bearish, so you'd like to see that first, but it doesn't really matter. If I see a break in a higher low, entering on that. If I see a break in a lower high, I'm entering on that. So that's UJ. Let's move on to EJ, and then we got gold. This arrow for a second. Daily time frame. Overall, super bearish if we look at this channel here. So we were very bearish. We turned bullish once we got this break and confirmed higher low. Then we saw a rally up to 126.5, our monthly zone. Then we got tons of ranging here. A lot of indecision or a lot of wicks, and then we started getting some lower highs and price action just reversed. This is like a giant reversal pattern. Looks pretty good actually. So let's go right to the 4 hour. Right, this is that reversal pattern. We started getting some lower highs, descending triangle. Price action started melting, broke through this support right here at 124.3. Quick retest, then shot down. Now we have like this inverted like Bart Simpson's pattern essentially. It's like an inverted Bart, right? Just shoots down, consolidates, pulls right back. Pretty much 100% retracement. It's also retesting 124.3. So, I mean, this one's a little trickier. But, let's just play it with the overall trend in mind, right? So we're looking to short. So we want to see pretty much a lower high happen right now. Then we want to see a push lower, break of this higher low. So you could potentially target down towards the bottom of the zone, but there's two ways you could pretty much do this. You could look for this entry right here. Either wait for a breakout entry as it crosses this higher low right here, or just wait for a retest of that zone to enter on. So like we have a lower high here, that's a good sign. And so you're gonna break lower through the MAs, quick retest, then enter on that. Enter on the retest or enter on a breakout. Just breakout setup that you would have confidence in that it fits your rules. Okay, and then we'll target lower down towards 121.35. That's ideal. This is very likely to happen if we start getting these confirmations. We'll see, however. But the easy part about this one is that it's very clear to see when we're going long is when we break 124.3. If we get a higher low above 124.3 and this 200 EMA, yeah, we're going to take some long opportunities. We're going to look to fill this range now, this zone, get up to this monthly. But until that happens, we're in this lower zone between 124.3 and 121.3, and we're looking to short. We're looking to play it down towards that weekly. All right, so let's go right to the daily for a second, actually, and see if this makes sense. Could we see price action pull all the way back down towards this weekly? Yeah, it honestly looks very likely. Price action loves doing these huge swings, lots of kind of ranging. So, once it broke this zone, after it held so many times, I think it's definitely got momentum and we could see it, potentially push lower. So keep that in mind, guys. UJ is looking good. Looking like a nice little short opportunity. All right, so let's wrap this up with gold. Back at 1900, that's fun. So we look at the daily time frame, super bullish, super bullish. Then we started getting some high volume, pattern formations here. So let's go to the 4-hour. So we had a rally from 1800 to 2K, over 2K actually. Then we got a nice descending triangle. Key support 1915. I actually thought this was going to go long. We highlighted this box pattern. It looked like it was making a play to the upside. Faked this out. DXY moved. Then we saw gold move. It dumped. Shot down towards 61.8 where it double bottomed. Then pulled back. And now we're forming a bit of an ascending triangle. Wait, I'm sorry, ascending channel. Going to test 1915 again. So let's get rid of this. All right, so a couple ways that this could play out. Let's say we're continuing with the bias that it is bearish first. So we're looking for this. Some sort of break of a higher low. And then we'll enter on that. Once you enter on a break of a higher low, either this level here, right? We want to see a break of that, break and retest of that we can enter on. What the hell? There we go. Just clean this up. Break and retest of that. Or if you get another higher low, if you get some sort of new higher low, that would then be the higher low you want to see break and retest, okay? So this is what we're looking at right now. Definitely continuing with this short trend here. Let me just put this trend line back. All right, so this would be ideal. But let's say we're trying to go long again. What needs to happen? It's pretty simple, but we need to see 1915 break. We need to see some higher lows above it. Oh, this thing is so sensitive. There we go. All right. So to go long, that's what we need to see. Ideally, a break back into this little zone here, higher low, and then strong bullish setups to target higher. Oh my lord. The trade path tool really just doesn't double click sometimes. There we go. All right. So, but we're definitely looking short first, guys. Because until we get above 1915, we're short. All right. So that's a nice little trade scenario that we could be see playing out soon. All right. Let's do a quick recap. I covered DXY, which is dropping, AU, which is going up, AJ, which is going up, UJ, which is going sideways, UJ looks like it could drop, and then gold looks like it could drop. All right, so I'm going to pass this off to Angelo. He's going to get into some more majors and
All
some
right.
other you guys.
Cool. Definitely good job there. We're going to get into, like Nick said, some of the more major pairs right now. Go ahead and share my screen. Boom. So I just want to take a step back and let's just stick to the higher time frames here as much as we can. We are going to do a little giveaway today. So put your Discord name in the chat if you guys want to get in on the giveaway for today. But let's pretty much get right into it. We're gonna start with EU. So let's bump up time frames here. Let's bump up all the way to the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame, we can even go up to the monthly. So monthly time frame on EU, we are overall bearish. We are coming to this trend line, this right here, this resistance level. You know, we did have this bearish engulfing, a little bit of exhaustion there. So we are popping up a little bit. And then as we come down time frames to the weekly, we see this weekly time frame broke support here. A lot of buyers in the market right now. And then all the way down to the daily time frame broke, made this high, higher low, made this new high here. And now we're on this pullback. So overall on the monthly, we are bearish, but on the weekly and the daily time frame right now, we are bullish. So there's a lot of buyers in the market. So we got to keep that in mind. We got to keep that in mind right now. Down to the 4-hour time frame now, we are in a downtrend. So we are making lows, lower high, low, lower high. So pretty much what we need to see right now is we need to see a break above this level, and then we'll get long. So we have this trend line here. We have this weekly resistance level right here. As we can see, buyers are stepping in at the moment, but we just need to be a little bit more patient here. Once we do see a break above this level, we can long right there, and we'll target that upper trend line. So EU at the moment, we are looking to be bullish on this. On the flip side, if we were to break below, all the way below this level right here, this is when we would start to look for short opportunities right there. Boom, and then we target this lower weekly level. So again, always just trying to map out two different scenarios. To the flips, to the upside, if we do manage to break this trend line, this 4-hour bearish momentum, we will look to buy in this zone right here. To the downside, if we start to roll over right now, we form this 4-hour lower high, and we will easily take some short opportunities right there. Like Nick said with DXY is very bearish right now. DXY is falling, you know, to the downside, and it has some more room to fall right now. So in correlation with EU, if DXY continues to push to the downside, EU can continue to push to the upside. So let's get over now to UCAD, and let's start again all the way up in this higher time frame. So higher time frame on UCAD right now, we are in this bearish push to the downside. We're rejecting this monthly level of resistance right now. We're below the moving averages. And as we break this down further, daily time frame is just very clearly in a downtrend as well. Boom, we're coming up to the 61.8 level. We got this huge bearish engulfing candle, this bearish, just a lot of sellers stepping into the market. So we've seen to break this down to a time frame where we can potentially enter, get on some entries. You know, originally we were looking to enter on the break of this level, a little bit of a retest, but this thing just flew to the downside. So what are we looking for now is we need some sort of pullback here before we get in on this. So we need to pull back, form that lower high on this 1-hour time frame. So what would that look like? We would come up to this 38.2 area right here. And this is ideally what we're looking for. Remember, guys, we're always trying to enter on lower highs. So we're not just trying to enter right now at this low. You know, even though we are forming on the lower time frame some sort of variations at this level, we want to be a little bit more patient here. This thing could pop up a little bit. News is about to hit as well right now. So we're about to get some news jumping into the market that'll push it in one direction. So let's just see how this goes. You know, ideally we need to see this pullback before shorting this, but like we were saying with DXY is very bearish. So this very well could just continue to push from this level right now down into this zone. So that's UCAD. Let's go over to GU. GU is getting pretty crazy today. Let's bump up.
Yeah, it is.
It is to the weekly time frame. So GU is making a little bit of a comeback right now, Going into this week, we had this bearish engulfing candle, but now all these buyers at this weekly level are stepping in. So this is an indecision level right here. Sellers or buyers can step in. Obviously, buyers at the moment are stepping in. Let's break this down further. Overall, we've rejected this upper level multiple times. We had a large bearish push. As we come down to the daily, we can see that daily is still in an uptrend. So the daily time frame is still clearly in an uptrend here. Made this high, pulled back. Could this potentially be a higher low? We'll see. Coming down to the 4-hour, this is really what we need to break right now. We need to break above this level right here. So this is just 4-hour structure, lower low, lower high, lower low. Down to the lower time frames, this has already started to form an uptrend. This high, higher low, high, higher low, a lot of volume right now. So pretty much what we need to happen, just to be very conservative, is we're going to need this. We're going to need to break above this 4-hour level. That'll also be a 1-hour higher high. And then we'll just wait for the pullback right here, guys. Try to get every time frame to line up. So once the 4-hour breaks, that's going to line up with the daily time frame, which is still bullish. The weekly time frame, overall we are bearish, but we have come back into this monthly level multiple times. So every time frame below the daily would then line up to be bullish, and that's when we want to take our buys right there. Very early on, we could have started to look for buys in this area. We could have started to look for buys all along this area with these higher highs. This wick kind of kept us away from that. But now it's shaping up. If we do get a nice break and retest of this area, then we will look to buy this. To the flip side of this, on the 4-hour time frame, when would we start to take short opportunities? We would need to take short opportunities if we start to get something like this. A lot of indecision around this level, push to the downside. A lot of indecision around this level, push to the downside. We would just need a lot more price action. So we need to see how it reacts to this random line. Again, if we break, we'll look for the retest and go long here. So that's GU. Let's go over now to NU. Let's start up on the weekly time frame. So NU, much like GU, we have this resistance level up here that has been respected over and over and over again. Boom. So this has been respected over and over again. Huge bearish engulfing candle right there. And then as we just break this down further, daily time frame is still bullish. So daily time frame is still bullish. So right now I'm thinking weekly time frame is bearish, daily time frame is bullish, 4-hour time frame is bearish right now. Okay, so how do we make sense of all this, guys? What do we do here? So we have this nice resistance level up here. 4-hour time frame is bearish right here. Pretty much what we're going to look for is we're going to look to see how price reacts back around this level. So right now we're coming up, 200-day moving average is being tested, a lot of volume, a lot of bullish volume, and pretty much on this 4-hour, the only way we'll take short opportunities is if we come up to this level, a lot of rejection, we start to see something very similar to this. I believe it's this one. Yeah. Nope, it's not that. It's the other one. This one. So we need to see something very similar to this, come up to this level. Lot of rejection of that level. We'll look to get it on some sort of entries right there. So let's highlight this. Boom. So this is where we're going to look to enter on NU. So again, we're looking for this thing to push, a little bit higher up back into this resistance level. We start to reject that level. Only then will we look to take some short opportunities. Let's go over to USEF. Let's bump up all the way up to the monthly time frame. So monthly time frame on USEF, we're down at this monthly level. Had this bullish engulfing last month closed, but little wick at the top. Had a wick at the top. So a lot of buyers exhaustion in there. Remember, this is the monthly time frame. Down to the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame still very much bearish. Retesting this resistance level right now. Obviously, this week has fallen off pretty dramatically. Down to the daily time frame. So daily time frame, overall very bearish. So these time frames are lining up, weekly, daily, all the way down now. 4 hour formed this little lower high right here. So it's starting to push, and then all the way down to the 1 hour. So the 1 hour is bearish, made this lower high right here. Now we're making a lower low. So we're going to look to continue on this time frame to look for the next selling opportunity. Right here, we can bring on our fibs. We see this pulled back, hit 38.2, a lot of rejection. So pretty much what we're going to look for is we've got our targets. We've got negative 27. You know, this thing could push all the way to negative 618. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to adjust our fibs. So we're going to move our fibs from our previous lower high to our new lower low, wherever that may be. Right now, this is still very much has the ability to push. This thing could continue to push to the downside. If we wanted to get in on some sort of opportunities on the lowest time frame, right now what we need to see is we definitely need to break this level right here. We definitely need to break this level, retest this zone. Let's just bump back up all the way up to the 4 hour. This is just a random line that I placed, I believe on the daily time frame. So we've got resistance 1, 2, 3. You know, this is definitely a level right here. This thing can continue to show downward momentum, really break below this level 91600 area. If we can break below there, this thing will continue to push to the downside. So USEF, again, going along with this theme that DXY is bearish. We're looking for this to continue to push downward. But you know, if this thing does pull back, we will still look for sells until all the way until this is broken up here. All the way until this is broken, we can look for sells. You know, we'll have our fibs, say it finds support here. We'll continue to look for sell opportunities all the way into this level. Let's go over to GJ. So this thing is now flying up a little bit, which is crazy. Let's go to the weekly time frame. All right, so overall weekly time frame is bearish, guys. We've been forming these lower highs for a minute now. We just came into this weekly level support, and last week formed this large bearish wick right here, and now this thing is pushing up. So large bearish wick, now this thing's pushing up. Let's just go down time frames down to the daily. Daily time frame still bullish right here. So we were forming this higher low. 4-hour time frame, we needed to break above this level right here. So it's testing. So 4-hour structure, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high right here. We're testing this level. So as you can see, this level was tested, rejected. Now we're finding support again, but we need to hold above this level. This is why I drew this break and retest. We need a break and retest of this area. Right now, this thing could continue to push upwards, you know, going along with that daily time frame. The 1 hour is bullish, just forming clear-cut highs, higher low, retested this higher low, made a new high here, retested this higher low. Now it's pushing again. So right now, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4-hour time frames turning over to be bullish. Daily time frames bullish, and then the weekly time frame overall is bearish. So where could this potentially come to? Find rejection next. We could push all the way up to this level. You know, basically, unless we break above this trend line, unless we break above this area that just formed, the weekly time frame is bearish. So considering every time frame below this, the daily, 4-hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, is bullish, we're basically just looking where's the next area that we could find a lot of sellers that this could reject and reverse on us. You know, everything is bullish right now. So just keep that in mind, you know, daily time frame potentially forming this higher low. And if we were to fib this, we could fib from this low to this high, see what it's hitting 88.6. Now we're zooming past 618. So just wait for it to trend. Wait for a little bit of a pullback here. Obviously right now there's a lot of volume, but I wouldn't per se enter now and have stops, you know, all the way down there. We just got to wait. We just got to wait for this break, retest, and then we'll enter. So that's GJ. So I went over EU, UCAD, GU, NU, USEF, and GJ kind of the last day of the week. So trying to be conservative, you know, looking for entries and everything. But let's just open it up. If you guys have any questions, just drop it in the chat. We can go over kind of any last things. And we'll leave these next 5 minutes for you guys, and we'll see if you guys have any questions.
That was a good analysis, Angelo. Yeah, things are definitely looking like a bearish dollar right now, for sure.
Yeah, I mean the dollar's looking a little bearish right now. We just had that news come out. We had this came back a little lower than expected. Decreasing numbers should be taken as positive or bullish for the dollar. So we'll see. Definitely high news right there. Go over to DXY, see if it's reacting at all. Hasn't reacted really at all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean we'll keep you guys posted. We'll post up all of our analysis for today in the chats. It's gonna be the end of the week, so we'll update you guys analysis that was posted earlier in the week. If you guys have, yeah, this is the last meeting of the week. We're gonna meet again on Sunday. If you guys have any questions, a little bit quicker session today, just kind of going right through it. But if you guys have any questions, just shoot us a message. Best place to contact us is going to be in the Discord chat. We're always active in there. We try to be as much as we can. And yeah, last call for the giveaway. If you guys want to get in on that, just post your names up in the chat. I'll get that announced later today with a cool little graphic that I post up there.
And yeah, and guys, like seriously, like Angelo said, if you guys have any questions, like really go to the Discord. Everyone is really there to help you. I see it not really getting utilized as much as it should be from new traders, because I know people have questions where I'll end, one-on-ones, but then they don't go to the Discord and ask other traders that have completed the course and so on. So like definitely utilize the Discord or message us directly. We're very accessible. Angelo and I are here pretty much all day long. You guys
Yeah, I think a lot of new traders are afraid to ask questions, and I think like questions are like asking new questions are dumb or whatever. And I think, with trading, you want to start it because it's a business that is just between you and you. So it's hard for you to kind of break out of your shell and to like ask questions and to be active in the chats and all that, because it's more you're trying to internalize everything. But like Nick said, definitely get into the chat and just whatever questions you have, whatever thoughts you guys have. That's what the community is for. We have the psychology section now because we wanted to open it up, let people talk a little bit more about like struggles that they're having and everything like that. So come into here, obviously you see there's some activity in here as well, people just venting a little bit. The entire community, started off with only a few channels. Now it's obviously has a lot to offer here. If you guys have questions just even about navigating inside of it, where to go for different things, feel free to message us. We're always here to help you guys. And these live sessions will continue. This one was recorded. We'll upload this on YouTube shortly. And long term, the goal is to help as many people as possible, as well as continue to get better for me and Nick. You know what I mean? So we're putting in work here as much as we can, and we want you guys to just continue to improve.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about, guys. Just trying to make progress all around. But
Yep.
but all right, guys. Yeah, last session. Angelo said that. We'll see you guys Sunday for the Sunday Market Blitz. And yeah, guys, let's finish the week strong.
Hell yeah, yeah. Let's finish the week strong. Everyone have a good day, good night, wherever you guys are at, and we'll talk to you guys again very soon.
Peace, guys.